Please don't forget subscribe to the channel and hit the bell to get notified of new daily videos.
My name is Andrew, and I've spent most of my life in the South End sinks. Not a geographical sinkhole, but a forgotten district of what was once a sprawling industrial city. Factories abandoned, tenements crumbling, streets overgrown with weeds and forgotten dreams. It's where my grandfather, Bartlett, raised me. Bartlett was an anomaly. He thrived in the decay, his gaunt frame moving with a quiet efficiency through the broken landscape. He taught me to scavenge, to distinguish safe water from tainted runoff, to navigate the labyrinthine shadows and avoid the sparkle, his name for the pristine, gentrified sections of the city that felt like a different world entirely. I was always sickly, plagued by what he called the weakness. A constant low fever, dull aches, a general malaise that only seemed to subside when I was deep within the sinks, breathing in the scent of damp concrete and rust. Bartlett would concoct strange poultices from moss, metal filings, and stagnant water, applying them to my skin. They always brought temporary relief, a fleeting sense of strength. When I turned 20, I made a concerted effort to leave. I got a job as a stocker in a grocery store in the Sparkle, even started seeing a girl named Elise, whose laughter was as bright and clean as the polished floors of her apartment. But the weakness intensified there. The sunlight felt abrasive, the constant noise of traffic grating. I developed an almost insatiable craving for the gritty texture of unwashed asphalt, the metallic tang of old pipes. My skin felt alien under the fluorescent lights, too soft, too pale. Elise grew concerned, then distant. She didn't understand why I constantly excused myself to wander the grimy alleys behind the store, or why the thought of clean, filtered water turned my stomach. Bartlett, meanwhile, was changing. His skin, already leathery, began to take on the texture of cracked pavement. His eyes, once a faded blue, now gleamed with a strange, tarnished brass luminescence in the dim light. He moved with an almost seismic grace, as if the very ground resonated through him. He spoke of the city's true pulse, a living entity that demanded communion, and how he was its conduit. He said I was too, though I hadn't yet learned to listen properly. "The city claimed you, Andrew," he rasped one night, his voice echoing in our makeshift home under a collapsed bridge. "Found you in the ruins of the old cannery, barely a breath in your lungs. It saved you, and now it calls to you." I was terrified, but the words resonated with a strange truth. My own skin was hardening, developing patches that felt like dried mud, flacking paint, or raw, exposed aggregate. My eyes, once sensitive, were now almost useless in bright light, but could discern astonishing detail in the perpetual twilight of the sinks. I could feel the vibrations of the subway lines deep underground, a low thrumming that was both painful and strangely comforting. Elise eventually broke up with me. She said I looked like a ghost, that my touch was cold, my eyes empty. She couldn't stand the smell that clung to me, a mix of ozone and damp earth. I couldn't blame her. I couldn't explain the hunger that gnawed at me, not for food, but for the very essence of the decaying city. Then came the reclaimers, demolition crews, sent by developers to clear the South End sinks for a new, cleaner, sparkle-like expansion. They started with the old mill, right on the edge of Bartlett's core territory. The rhythmic clang of their wrecking ball was a drumbeat of impending doom. Bartlett watched them for days, his face a mask of silent fury. Finally, he moved. Not walking, but almost flowing out from under the bridge, his body twisting, reforming. His limbs elongated, joints groaning like rusted girders. His skin hardened into actual concrete, cracked and gray, rebar poking through in places. His eyes blazed with that brassy light, radiating a heat that shimmered in the stagnant air. He became a grotesque fusion of man and edifice, a living siege engine of urban decay. He tore into the machines, screaming, a sound that was less human and more like grinding stone and twisting metal. "You can't take what's already dead. You can't take my heart." The reclaimers, initially bewildered, opened fire with whatever they had, but bullets ricocheted off him like pebbles off a crumbling monument. Eventually, a massive excavator, driven by a panicked operator, managed to pin him, burying him under tons of rubble and collapsing wall. I saw it all from the shadows, Bartlett, or what was left of him, melting, dissolving into the concrete, his brassy eyes fading as the dust settled. He wasn't dead in any human sense. He was absorbed, integrated. He became the city he protected. Now I am alone in the sinks. The weakness is gone, replaced by an unnerving vitality. My skin is a mosaic of gray and brown, hard and cold to the touch, pitted like decaying concrete, resilient as rebar. My eyes glow faintly in the dark, useless in bright light, but they now see more than light. They perceive heat signatures, structural weaknesses, the flow of unseen currents, the intricate network of pipes and wires like veins within a colossal, slumbering beast. I scale these ruins like they are extensions of my own body. The hunger for the city's minerals is constant. I find myself instinctively licking condensation from ancient pipes, chewing on flakes of rusted iron, tasting the rich, earthy mineral tang of crumbling mortar. And I hear Bartlett's voice now, not in words, but in the groan of stressed metal, the trickle of unseen water, the deep, resonant hum of distant power lines. He tells me I am the city's son, its new guardian. I am the concrete heart. I still hear the whispers, not in my ears, but in the grinding of gears and the creak of settling foundations. The city is calling, and I am learning to answer.
If you enjoyed this video, please hit the thumbs up button to like it. And please do subscribe to support the channel.